Sorry, I did not introduce myself. Zubeda Basi, ex-SPD. There has been a loud mention of indigenously created link, which basically was very much phenomenal in executing the electronic warfare tactics and things which we wanted to execute, and they have given desired results as well. That was supported by the Chinese SAT data, real-time data, which were provided by Chinese. I was just wondering that, given that premise, is there any policy in consideration to amplify Pakistan's space capabilities in military domain? Because there has been a white paper about Golden Domes, Trump's Golden Domes policy as well. So anything like that is going on between three of the forces or not? Are we still going to rely on friendly countries for our space capabilities? Because the next thing will be nuking the satellites. So what Sir Khalid Banouri just mentioned कि हमारे पास time frame इतना कम है, तो आप सोचें कि अगर वो चीज़ हो जाए तो we will be like destroyed within seconds, nanoseconds.
Is very very important और space का हमने इस्तेमाल भी किया, but yes we don't have that much of space capability जो कि इंडिया के पास है. We did have help from China और वॉर में स्पेस की कैपेबिलिटी की सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट जो फैक्टर है वो ये कि एक तो ISR जो है वो बहुत ज़रूरी होती है, ठीक है. दूसरा ये कि जो आपका बैटल डैमेज असेसमेंट है वो रियल टाइम अगर आपको मिल रही है तो आपको एग्जैक्टली पता होता है कि आपका जो आपने जो स्ट्राइक की है या आपने जितने लोग निशाना बनाया है उसमें इफेक्टिवनेस कितनी रही है, एयर पावर की हो या ग्राउंड फोर्सेस की हो. तो वो जो रियल टाइम इमेजरी है वो बहुत ज़रूरी होती है फॉर सब्सिक्वेंट प्लानिंग और सब्सिक्वेंट टारगेटिंग. तो मेरा ख्याल में वो स्पेस की इस लिहाज से जो कैपेबिलिटी है वी आर डेफिनेटली इंडेवरिंग फॉर दैट. स्पेस कमांड भी बनी है एयरफोर्स में और आर्मी इज़ लुकिंग आफ्टर स्पार्को. तो देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन आल्सो अमंग बोथ द फोर्सेस, बट येस वी हैव टू डेवलप इट मच मोर aggressively. And we need to have a better capability than what we have today. The only thing which is a consolation for us is कि China इस मामले में बहुत आगे है और क्योंकि being a neighbor and a regional country, they keep providing us the necessary support, which is very valuable, as far as space is concerned. तो ये जी.
Like for how long they are going to do that? Because we are seeing the shifting alliances, rearrangements, China, Russia, bloc, उसके बाद फिर China, US की free. There is a lot going on. So in that context,
वो बिल्कुल ठीक कह रही हैं आपके. वी नीड टू हैव वन ऑफ द लेसन्स आई थिंक विच वी कैन डिराइव फ्रॉम द ईरान कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑल्सो इज दैट एट द एंड यू हैव टू स्टैंड अलोन, यू हैव टू बी योरसेल्फ पावरफुल इनफ टू डिफेंड योरसेल्फ and you need to have these capability yourself. But then वही बात आ जाती है कि there's a pie, इतनी पाए में ही आप रहते सब चीज़ें आपने लेनी है. तो you have to prioritize those things कि आपकी क्या solutions हैं which are not very costly also and you are able to defend yourself and not make it a national security issue also. तो उस लिहाज से मेरा ख्याल में we are on the right path. We are looking for some indigenous solutions and cost-effective solutions. लेकिन मैं सिर्फ आपको यहाँ पे ये ज़रूर बताता चलूँ कि हमारी जो इंटीग्रेशन है ऑफ ऑल द शूटर्स एंड सेंसर्स जो किल चेन बनती है वो इंडिया के मुकाबले में काफ़ी बेहतर है. और हमारी जो एक किस्म की डिसीजन मेकिंग लूप जिसे ऊडा लूप कहते हैं उसकी भी जो दैट इज़ मच मोर फास्टर और वो नज़र भी आया इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में. उसकी वजह यही थी कि हमारे जितने भी जहाज़ थे दे वर ऑन कॉमन डाटा लिंक एंड दैट इज़ इंडिजिनसली डेवलप्ड. अगर आज इंडिया अपना इंडिजिनस डेवलप करना शुरू करता है तो हमें जहां 10 से 12 साल लगे थे उन्हें कम से कम 5 से 6-7 तो ज़रूर लगेंगे. एंड दैट इज़ वन थिंग विच इज़ प्राइमरीली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर टेकिंग डिसीजंस. इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी एंड फुल स्पेक्ट्रम ऑपरेशंस जब आपने करने होते हैं तो उसमें कॉमन डाटा लिंक दैट एवरी एलिमेंट which is there in the air battle, including all sensors, all shooters and your command and control centers, they are on one similar common data link एक फ्रीक्वेंसी पे, ये उसी तरह जिस तरह व्हाट्सएप होता है, तो वो आपका हर एक को विजिबिलिटी होती है, और वो चीज़ बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है इस तरह की एयर बैटल में, जिसमें फास्ट डिसीजंस लेने हैं, शॉर्ट इंकर्शंस होंगी, इफेक्ट्स बेस्ड है, शॉर्ट नोटिस है, सरप्राइज वाला एलिमेंट है, तो ये मेरा ख्याल में वी आर मच अहेड ऑफ दैट। तो ये स्पेस कैपेबिलिटी एंड लास्टली इसमें जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस टूल्स हैं, जिस तरह एयर कमांडर बनूरी ने भी बताया, सो दिस इज़ द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट वी आर एम्बेडिंग दैम फॉर डिसीजन सपोर्ट टूल्स के लिए, सो दैट मैन इन द लूप वाला एलिमेंट कम हो जाए और डिसीजन जो है वो मशीन ले काफ़ी हद तक, of which weapon has to be fired first depending upon the threat while catering for friend and foe. So ये चीज़ें जो हैं, ये आपको मेरे ख्याल में ये पूरी एक डिफरेंट लेक्चर हो जाएगा और डिफरेंट टॉपिक हो जाएगा, बट these things Pakistan Air Force have been able to harness much better than Indian Air Force. Thank you.
That the IG sub has mentioned here is of the Charter of the Governance. And within the Charter of the Governance, he talk of the rules, regulations and the laws. Now within our system, it is the Parliament who is to devise all these laws and rules, regulations. Now actually what is happening is that these laws are tailored to the parties and to the families. These are the harsh realities, and to eventually individuals. Now what actually I want to ask Amir Saab, that you said, sir, that the civil government and the civil leadership must take over the decision making. My reservation is, as an unbiased observer, is that who sacked the army or trapped the army into this system. Now, if these are the only few families or political leading parties, that I can name 3 leading parties, now none of them is willing to go back to the people and come in power with the fair electorate. So they want to come on the shoulder of these people, and then on the same time they want to use the rhetorics. So if we follow that, do you think that this vacuum will be filled by the individuals or the families or by the leaders?
Assalamu alaikum, honored bench. It's such an extremely honor to be here, to be the part of this professional and very meaningful session, alhamdulillah. And this is Musawwir Akbar from Bahia University Law Department, second year. And firstly, I have a question and also one recommendation regarding this session. Sir, you have talked about the successful operation. I think this is a successful operation, but I'm talking about उसका क्या करें जो बहावलपुर के अंदर लोगों को अटैक हुआ, उसका क्या करें जो वहाँ की मस्जिद को अटैक किया. We create the message of peace, we create the message of love, sympathy. आज रिसेंटली पिछले वीक हमारा बिलावल भुट्टो साहब भी गया था यूके में, अबाउट गिव द मैसेज ऑफ द पीस, वहाँ कश्मीर इशू के बारे में. सो हमने सर ने बात की हुई, सर टॉक अबाउट द ट्रेजेडीज. सर, do you think as an enforceability in Pakistan, being a citizen of Pakistan and being a law student, what we should take the study, if we talk about this tragedy, क्या वो उनकी enforceability factor है सोसाइटी के अंदर? And the one man important question regarding this one, sir, there is a violation of the international humanitarian law because they take on the public, they take on Parkland mosque. So there is an international violation of international humanitarian law that's regarding that. हमने बच्चों को, सिविलियन को, पब्लिक को सेव करना है. सो देयर इज एन रिकमेंडेशन इज दैट सर, इंटरनल यूनिटी इज मोस्ट यूनिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट टू फेस एवरी क्राइसिस, whatever the country, whatever the Pakistan, whatever the worldwide. So it means that internal unity is must unique element to face every crisis. So that's actually, sir, my 2 questions regarding this: the violation of international humanitarian law, and is it strategies and enforceability in Pakistan. So
और लोग मौजूद हैं यहाँ पर, ठेका उनका है, तो वो आपको बताएंगे. इफ़ यू नो इट्स यू डोंट वांट टू बी एग्रेसिव, आप लॉ के स्टूडेंट हैं, एग्रेशन इज़ नॉट द मैसेज दैट यू वांट टू गिव टू द वर्ल्ड. You need to give the world of self-defense, which is a rightful thing in international law. The second thing is about international humanitarian law. Absolutely. It's a conflict situation, it's a military conflict, and it is a clear violation of international humanitarian law. In fact, this has happened now. Kashmir is full of example of international humanitarian law violations. All right, less of the human rights, but because it's an international armed conflict, according to the international law. Why then are we not taking this legal situation? You know the handicap if you've done the basics of international law. My sense is that you already know the answers to your questions. International law is not like domestic law. Domestic law, आज आपकी पार्लियामेंट बनाती है, all citizens become subject to it. International law has to be ratified. The Geneva Convention of 1949, which basically defined international humanitarian law, have not been ratified by India. They never will do that. So the only argument you have is customary international law. That argument needs to be made over and over again. Thank you.
I had mentioned that we would then seek international law and build our narrative. The Indus Water Treaty should not be held in abeyance. But what we have seen so far, the international law has become the law of the jungle. Might is right. अभी हमने ईरान में भी देख लिया. So what is our red line? When we say, there are lots of people from the forces here, what do we mean when we say the Indus Water Treaty is our red line? That's something I would really like to hear about. The other very quick question is, and Azaz Saeed, the journalist, has left, he said, the armed forces should disengage from politics. My question is, shouldn't they also disengage from the economy to give the private sector more space so that we get more direct investment? That is also a concern. So just these two questions.
Where she says that one of the recommendations is that the armed forces should disengage from politics. So
And also from economy.
And economy, I can take on the economy. Obviously, our economic security is indeed of paramount concern, and if we are to progress as a nation, I think economy takes priority over everything else. I totally agree with you that it is the economic growth of any country is led by private sector. No questions about it. So therefore, we need to develop our private sector, we need to develop the capacity, we need to incentivize, we need to upscale their skills. I've been ambassador in Saudi Arabia. There were a number of construction projects ranging of the order of $500 million and 300 and then more. I could not find one single construction company in Pakistan that could handle that kind of project. So I totally agree with you that we need to have a plan where we have private public sector partnerships and then let the private sector grow, because the way the disruptive technologies have come in, it is the private sector who has the capacity, who have the grey matter to take us into the 21st century.
The Pakistan Regional Economic Forum that has actually been doing exactly what you're saying, trying to make everybody understand, particularly the powers that be, that business can only be done by private sector. And they must, the rest of the government, whether it's civilian or military, their job is to provide the requisite environment in which the private sector can thrive. And I think we've made some headway, and hopefully soon you might hear some good news also.
Position. As you said, I 100%, rather 200% agree with you that military should not be involved in the politics and military should not be involved in the economy or whatever you said. Incidentally, let me tell you, I started researching on this, the military interventions even as a major, and I published my articles also in the military journal. So by the way, in Staff College has a journal which is called Citadel. So I published in that also. बिल्कुल प्रिंसिपली आप सही फरमा रही हैं कि नहीं होना चाहिए, बट हमारी कंट्री में ये हुआ सम ऑफ द अदर द वैक्यूम्स. अभी सिंपल सी बात यह कि मैं एक ही रेसिपी इसकी समझता हूँ. द बेस्ट रेसिपी इज़, एंड आई हैव बीन सेइंग इट before also, will say it now and say it again also. Number one, all the politicians, all the political parties are very very respectable as far as I am concerned. This is my personal opinion. Number two, अगर मुझे आप कहते हैं इलेक्शन लड़ो, मैं शायद एक काउंसलर का इलेक्शन भी जो महल्ले का लड़ के जीत ना सकूं. So it's not an easy thing to be a representative of the people and win and come to the assemblies. अब ये जो गड़बड़ हो जाती है वो वहाँ पे हो जाती है कि there is a kind of disjointedness within the politics and within the politicians, right? So who invites whom?